The idea of review began before man's first attempts at building great institutions and structures. The incredible involvement of today's projects and the expenses they generate demand a system to re-examine ideas and performances. During the Second World War, Larry Miles, a General Electric engineer, developed the basis of value engineering. VE, as it's commonly called, is a systematic application of recognized techniques by a multidisciplinary team who identifies the function of a product or service, establishes a worth for that function, generates alternatives through creative thinking, and provides the necessary functions reliably at the lowest overall cost. The Virginia Department of Transportation began using the practice of value engineering on project plans in 1985. The program started with one full-time coordinator who organized training and led all reviews. From 1985 through 1989, over 50 projects were reviewed with an average savings of 10% of the estimated project cost. In late 1989, Commissioner Ray D. Pethtel approved plans for a major expansion of the VE program. This expansion, now in place and operating, includes changes in four main areas: project selection, recommendation tracking, the establishment of regional VE coordinators, and the appointment of a value engineering advisory committee. Projects are selected by the VE staff who compile the information from the program project monitoring system and interviews with field and office managers. By law, any project estimated to cost over $2 million requires a VE review. However, cost is not the only factor that determines a review. Things like project complexities, urgency, and construction schedules can also bring about one. VDOT's recently improved VE tracking system closely follows recommendations that are both accepted and rejected. Reports are provided to management on the status of all recommendations. Tracking permits each coordinator to follow accepted recommendations until they are implemented. The most visible change in the value engineering program is the establishment of regional VE coordinators. While part of the Management Services Division, they are permanently housed in district offices throughout the state. The regions they oversee were determined by an analysis of projected construction projects. The regional VE coordinators plan and lead all value engineering reviews in their regions, track and report on recommendations, coordinate training in the regions, and serve as the value engineering representative to the district staff. The fourth change in the VE program was the establishment of the Value Engineering Advisory Committee. This committee was appointed by the chief engineer and is composed of district administrators and preliminary engineering division administrators. The committee meets annually to approve the yearly VE work plan and training schedule based on the yearly work plan. Reviews are scheduled to be held approximately 2 weeks before the field review or final review of the project plans. Once the project review is scheduled, VE team members are selected. The coordinator who will be leading the review identifies the specific disciplines needed based on the individual project. Section heads responsible for the needed disciplines are requested to assign a person to serve on the review team. The VE review team meets at a convenient location near the project, usually a VDOT residency or district office. The review follows the established phases of value engineering using the VDOT VE project workbook as a guide. Investigation is phase one in the process. The team becomes familiar with the job by reviewing plans, correspondence, and any other information on the project. A visit to the project site provides the team with first-hand view of the terrain, surrounding developments, and other environmental factors which must be considered. During this phase, the highest cost items in the plan are identified and the basic function of each is determined.
Okay, what we're going to do now is we're going to move into the speculation phase. And in the speculation phase, we're going to brainstorm and be creative with the functions that we identified in the investigation phase.
In the speculation phase, the team uses creative thinking and brainstorming techniques to propose alternatives which achieve the basic functions of the identified high-cost items. No suggestion is considered too extreme or unusual for examination. During the evaluation phase, the team analyzes and selects the best alternatives from those proposed during the brainstorming session. The obviously impractical suggestions are discarded first. Then the team identifies factors for evaluation, and each is given a value. Each of the suggestions is rated by each factor, and the ones with the highest rating are pursued. In the development phase, the team members refine the selected alternatives into recommendations to be presented to management. The recommendations include the cost of the new alternatives, as well as the savings and benefits from them. The team presents its recommendations both orally and in writing using the VDOT VE project workbook to the people responsible for implementing the recommendations. Recommendations are tracked by the regional and central office VE coordinators. The computerized VDOT Value Engineering Recommendation Tracking System provides current information on accepted and implemented recommendations. Regular reports are made to the chief engineer on the status of all recommendations.
But that's where you get the biggest savings, if you do it before you lay your pencil on the paper.
The teaching of value engineering began at VDOT in the mid-1980s. By the end of 1989, over 300 employees had been trained in the technique. At present, there are two main sessions of instruction: a 40-hour course aimed at the VE practitioner who will serve as a member on a review team. The course, usually taught by a VE professional under contract to the National Highway Institute, provides an in-depth practical introduction to VE. In addition to lecture and visual aids, an actual review of a construction project is conducted during this 40-hour course. A shorter 1.5 day course provides a basic familiarization with VE concepts for managers or those who will not directly participate in VE reviews. This short course, conducted by VDOT's VE staff, is also used by those who've been trained but have not practiced VE for some time. To ensure that VE training is available throughout the department, each course is held at least once a year in each region. Another form of value engineering is practiced in VDOT's construction division. After a contract has been let on a highway project, the contractor is encouraged to perform VE on all phases of the work. Savings from any ideas submitted by the contractor and accepted by the department are shared equally between the contractor and VDOT. While thoroughly committed to using value engineering to review highway construction plans, VDOT also continues to experiment with applying VE concepts to other types of studies. Some examples of using VE to review processes and procedures include a study of centerline paint truck loading. This study resulted in the purchase of reusable tote tanks in place of 55-gallon drums. A review of the preparation process of construction contract documents resulted in recommendations that greatly streamlined the process and saved several hours for each preparation session. VE reviews of highway construction standards have resulted in small savings which, when applied to every project, accumulate into large dollar amounts. An ongoing program of standard reviews will continue to add savings. VDOT is also experimenting with conducting VE reviews at the initial concept or scoping stage earlier in the design process. It's hoped that recommendations made at this stage will be as effective as those made later, but will reduce the need to re-engineer the project after plans have been developed. The secondary benefits of the VE process are also recognized by VDOT. The building of teamwork, the increased familiarity with other design disciplines, and value-oriented thinking. These are all vital to improving the effectiveness and efficiency of the department. The Federal Highway Administration and AASHTO, the American Association of State Highway and Transportation Officials, both encourage the use of VE and offer assistance in starting and maintaining the programs. The Virginia Department of Transportation is thoroughly committed to value engineering. Experience has proven that VE is a valuable concept, and the expanded VDOT VE program is visible evidence of the department's commitment to use VE to achieve the best use of the Commonwealth's resources.